What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with a video about Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott. Now, shout out to my man Eagle Speed. He's now known as Fitness Cheat Code. I'm actually going to leave the link to his channel in the description, so check him out. He's the one that did this video at first. And he's part of the TTC, and I was part of the TTC for many years, so I go back and check out my roots now and again, check out some of the video makers in the TTC that I still enjoy. And that came up, and we used to do this all the time at TTC, where we'd have a debate on who's better than who, and he did this Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott thing. Now, of course, I got into it with a couple Cowboys fans on the page, because I said Saquon Barkley, and it ain't close. And they said, how can you say it ain't close? Ezekiel Elliott led the league in rushing, or, he had more yards than Saquon Barkley, and he only played 15 games. And I try to tell them, it's not the games that matter, it's the carries. And Ezekiel Elliott had 41 more carries than Saquon Barkley. He averaged 0.3 yards per carry less than Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is faster than Zeke. He's more elusive than Zeke. He can change directions better than Zeke. He's a better pass receiver than Zeke. He's a home run hitter unlike Zeke. The difference, the thing Zeke is very good at, and he's probably the best running back in the league, is picking up a blitz. He's a fantastic blocker picking up the blitz. I'll give him that. And he's a very good running back behind a great offensive line. Now, granted, I thought the Cowboys' offensive line was better last year than it actually was. So I was wrong on that account. I thought they were still a top 10 offensive line. It turns out they were ranked 14th. But regardless, compared to what Saquon Barkley had, it's not close, okay? Also, that's what one of the Cowboys fans on that page said. They're going to use the offensive line as an excuse. We can't help that Saquon Barkley went to a really crappy team. Well, hey, it's not an excuse. It's a fact, okay? This is the difference. Saquon Barkley is a guy that can make his own touchdown. This guy can make his own plays. This guy can make his own holes, if you will. And there is not a safety in the league that is tackling this guy one-on-one in the backfield, or the secondary rather. You're not tackling him one-on-one. Saquon Barkley is the closest thing to Barry Sanders I've seen since Barry Sanders, except for he's bigger and he's faster. Saquon Barkley also had 6 more touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott's had 13 touchdowns the last 2 years. Saquon Barkley had 11 touchdowns behind a crappy offensive line with a team that didn't run the ball much because they were always behind. The other thing, Saquon Barkley led the league in yards from scrimmage in his rookie season. And again, this is when Cowboys fans say, he only had 12 more yards than Zeke, and Zeke played one less game, but Ezekiel Elliott had 29 more touches overall than Saquon Barkley, and he still didn't have more yards than Saquon Barkley. Okay, it's not close. All you have to do is watch the two backs run. Ezekiel Elliott is a bruiser. Ezekiel Elliott is a running back that depends on the offensive line to open up a hole. And when the hole's open, he's very good at getting through it. And he always gets extra yards because he's a tough, strong, physical back that will grind out yards and wear down defenses. That is what he does, okay? Saquon Barkley, on the other hand, can get through a hole, and then you have a whole slew of problems because he can make a bunch of people miss. He can run through tackles if he wants to because he's incredibly strong, okay? So he has the whole package. Watch those two guys run. Ezekiel Elliott is very one-dimensional, where Saquon Barkley has a ton of dimensions that defenses have a hard time guarding, okay? It's not close. If you watch the talent between the two guys, it's not close. The numbers may be close, but the talent isn't close. It's not. I'll tell you what, switch positions. Give Ezekiel Elliott the Giants' offensive line, and I guarantee you he don't crack 1,000 yards. I guarantee it. He would not crack 1,000 yards behind that Giants' offensive line. You give Saquon Barkley Dallas's offensive line with some of the holes they open up, he'd probably rush for 2,000 yards. Now, Saquon Barkley's got a much better offensive line this year. Granted, it's still not great, but I don't believe we're below average anymore. We got Zeitler, he's one of the best right guards in the league. We got Solder and Hernandez. Hernandez could have a big year. Solder played a lot better second half of the season. Once we got Jamon Brown, Saquon Barkley had 755 yards in the last 8 games of the season. He averaged almost 5.3 yards a carry in those last 8 games. We actually ran him. He had 5 games where he ran for over 100 yards after the bye when we added Jamon Brown. Now we got Zeitler there. And we also upgraded. I know there's a lot of bad talk about Mike Remmers, and I get that, okay? Mike Remmers is not a Hall of Fame right tackle. He's not an all-pro right tackle, but he's way better than Chad Wheeler, who is the worst run blocker, not run blocking tackle, the worst run blocking lineman in football last year. That's what Saquon Barkley had to work with, okay? Along with a team, especially the last 4 games, that were one-dimensional, right? Because there was no Odell Beckham. So everybody's saying, they're going to stuff the box and they're going to stop Saquon. Why didn't they do that the last 4 games of the season then? How does Saquon Barkley have 13 carries for 170 yards before getting pulled. And by the way, Cowboys fans, there's another one. Saquon Barkley was pulled halfway through that Washington game. Okay, after the first series in the third quarter, he was pulled with 170 yards on the ground and 13 carries. So let's not forget that. If you want to talk about games played, Saquon Barkley didn't play that half pretty much. And to be quite frank, he didn't play the second half against the Eagles either when we gave him 4 freaking touches. But regardless, that's my whole slew on this. Saquon Barkley is a much more talented running back than Ezekiel Elliott. That's why I say it's not close, okay? Saquon Barkley is the best running back in this league. It's that simple. Watch the two guys run. Watch the film on both guys. If you can't see that Saquon Barkley is the superior back, you're looking in the wrong spots. I don't know what the hell to tell you. I know what you're looking at, to be honest with you. That's my spiel on it. Saquon is better than Zeke, and it's that simple. It's Baddog, and I'm gone. Oh, by the way, real quick, I forgot. Live tonight with Philly 500 on the channel about 10:30. Hope you guys will all tune in for that. Philly 500 myself will be live. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff, so you ain't going to want to miss it. Now, it's Baddog, and I'm gone. Peace!